Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live on this Friday morning, the final day of February. Yes, can you believe it? We're already bringing in March. The time now to focus on an Indaba that's taking place in Johannesburg starting today. Young people are expected to gather for the presidential Youth Indaba at the Birchwood Hotel today. Young people from all 9 provinces will come together to discuss commitment by the civil society, government, labour, business and youth movements to raise the level of the youth in South Africa, particularly about jobs, training and education, as well as support for youth-owned enterprise and cooperatives. Joining us today to speak about the Indaba is Minister of Performance Monitoring and Evaluation, Minister Collins Chabane. Good morning, welcome to Morning Live. How many people can we expect at the Indaba that's starting today? We
were expecting to have young people estimated about 500 from all the 9 provinces. And we think that is a significant number.
And who are some of the people that are going to be speaking at the Indaba?
We would have the Deputy President was supposed to open the conference, but unfortunately was not able to come back from Nigeria. Was on a official trip to Nigeria. He's still busy with some other programs there. So I will have to open on his behalf. And then we'll also have the Deputy Minister Papela. We'll also have Minister Patel. We'll also have other speakers from from the various sectors who will address issues like training, who will address issues like jobs, who will address issues like small businesses. We have got enterprises, both state enterprises and public enterprises, who are going to exhibit their products to the young people so that young people know where opportunities lie.
Minister Chabane, how are you hoping to translate that whatever's spoken about, whatever's discussed, whatever resolutions are taken at this Indaba are actually translated into workable solutions?
We will, in cooperation with the various sectors, and particularly coordinated also by the NYDA, we hope as one of the outcomes would have to explore the possibility of having a youth advisory council. You would know that we've got quite a number of structures which are dealing with youth affairs. We've got the NYDA, which is established in terms of legislation. We've got the South African Youth Council, which is also a structure which deals. So there are a variety of structures we are dealing with that. But we think, in line with what is happening in other sectors, there is a need for us to begin to see as to, on a consistent basis, to monitor what is happening on the ground as a result of the decisions which are going to be made. So we think we will be able to have structures who will assist the President to monitor what's happening on the ground and the implementation of whatever decision which will be made.
There are a lot of Indabas, a lot of great ideas are shared at Indabas. And one of the things that you'll hear from young leaders is that we come up with the most brilliant ideas, but then when it comes to actually implementing it, those people that hold the reins of actually being able to implement it, they seem to put up boundaries. Are you promising that those young people that are coming to the Indaba that you guys are open, you're wanting to hear their ideas and their ideas will be implemented?
We will try to implement the ideas which they are going to come, particularly from state-owned enterprises and public sector side of the bargain. We'll also try to ensure that the private sector also plays its part in that regard. So we think this time we will be able to implement the decisions which will be made.
Now let's chat a little bit about youth unemployment and how you envisage the Indaba addressing that question.
That is the central theme of what we're trying to do. You'll recall that, or you'll note that the Youth Indaba is taking place just immediately after the budget speech. So every department, every sector, from the public side, we know what is in there, and it is that package which we think we should be able to explain to the youth, all the sectors, what is it that is available in terms of what the state had committed to do as a result of the budget announced by the Minister of Finance.
And then leaving it open to those that are coming to the Indaba to propose ideas on how they hope to address that youth unemployment.
We are going to discuss with them. Let's share ideas. There are quite a number of ideas which are out there. not only amongst the young people, but also amongst the people who are critical in the economy, particularly in the public sector. And we think coming together in this way, we will be able to share those ideas to ensure that they become implementable ideas which are likely to address some of the challenges which are faced by young people.
Now, we've spoken a lot about what the youth are hoping to give in this Indaba in terms of sharing their ideas, perhaps proposing ways of helping to address their challenges. But then I suppose an Indaba is also about them getting to be empowered and learning from the leaders that are going to be coming to speak to them.
As I said, one of the things which is going to happen is that some of the key stakeholders, for example, there are huge programs which are taking place within the public sector, institutions and companies like ESCOM, PRASA, Transnet, and others, IDC and others. We have got a lot of programs and some resources which they're able to do, not only on training, but also on empowering the youth economically and making sure that they get the relevant skills and the relevant experience. Now, that component of the state will be able to exhibit their products. They'll be able to explain to the young people, to share the information with them, what are the opportunities which are available. So that as they go back to their provinces, they're able, as leaders themselves, they're able to explain to other young people what is available. Obviously, we won't be able to address all the challenges which are facing the youth, but we think we're going to go a long way in empowering the youth to understand where the opportunities are.
Mr. Chabane, how were the youth chosen to take part in this Indaba?
Obviously, from our side, we believe that the youth themselves will coordinate their own affairs. For us, it's just to facilitate and to make sure that all the systems, all the requirements for the Indaba are in place. But we had asked the NYDA, which is a structure which is legally charged on behalf of the state to deal with youth affairs. So the NYDA has its own structures and procedures, and I think they would have done a good job to be able to get the whole 500 young people in one place.
Are you quite excited about something like this Youth Indaba, where it's so critical to start speaking about youth unemployment and to start hearing this voice of the youth and taking them more seriously? Are you quite excited about this Indaba?
We are excited because it's one of the building blocks. You must remember that it's not the first time that young people gather to be able to discuss their own issues. That they do discuss in their various forums, in their various organizations. They do discuss in the South African Youth Council, but it's for the first time that we bring them in this format to come to bring all these ideas in one place. So that excites us beyond the Job Summit, which was there, and the Youth Accord, which we signed in Soweto the other time. So for us, it's a very exciting moment for us to be able to bring the youth of the country in one place.
Is it going to be social dialogue between business, youth, government that's going to be promoted in the Indaba? Because that's something that's also important.
We think the youth have got a critical voice to contribute in the debates and the discourse which are going on in the country, particularly as it relates to youth empowerment, it relates to training on the education side, and also include what do we deal with young workers. Because you must remember, our young people are not composed of only of the unemployed. We have got the unemployed, we have got young workers who are employed themselves, we have got young professionals, we have got young entrepreneurs, we have got young people who are still in colleges and universities and high schools. So it is important for us, for the first time, to bring all that body of thought into one place to be able to begin to address the issues which are facing us.
Minister Collins Chabane, thank you very much. It's going to be a very interesting conversation because earlier on Morning Live, we had a young engineer who studied at Harvard University, Sia Kuza, who actually created a rocket fuel in his mother's kitchen, chatting to us about his big ideas to save energy on the African continent. So really, young people have got great ideas, and I think it's going to be a great Indaba. We wish you all the best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And just a correction, the Indaba is taking place in Ekurhuleni, not Johannesburg.
Okay, in Ekurhuleni. In Ekurhuleni at Birchwood Hotel.
Otherwise, we'll fight with the mayors.
We don't want any fighting between the mayors in the Gauteng province. Yes. Thank you very much. It's Minister Collins Chabane chatting to us about the Youth Indaba. Time now to move